following video is based on the Globe Mail article, How to Save When Surplus Cash is Low. Now the client's situation, both are age 37. She's a teacher and he's a consultant. They've got 2 children, ages 3 and 5, and family income is $176,000 a year. What are their concerns? Well, they're concerned that cash flow is tight right now. She wants to contribute to RRSPs and he wants to pay down the mortgage. So I'm going to go through and make a few suggestions. I think what they should do is just create a basic financial plan that works. Any monies they get above that, they can do what they like with. So what they should do is gear the mortgage amortization towards Carmen's retirement date, and Don should contribute to RRSPs to create his own pension plan. When we take a look at where they are now, we can see this is their net worth, and it's growing here over time. We can see the mortgage. This is the mortgage here, and it's going to be paid off when they're both age 65. We look at their income assets, so RRSPs and other non-registered accounts. That all looks good right through retirement, so no problem. Let's look at their net cash flow. So how much money is coming in each year and how much is going out. So we can see here in this year, 2012, they really don't have a lot of surplus income. They have high childcare expenses. One of the children is going to go to school full-time next year, so that'll reduce, and they have surplus income. And then in another couple of years, both children will be in school, and their childcare expenses will be reduced. What the plan is showing is that they're going to take this money and save it, and we can see that that's represented by the green over here. Now, I know in most cases that this doesn't happen. When expenses go away, it doesn't necessarily become savings. So let's take a look and see what happens if we don't save that money and we just spend it all. So what we can see here now is that they're spending everything that they're making. Okay, so they're not going in debt, but they're not saving anything either. So when we do that, we can see that in retirement, this is the savings here that they've accumulated. We're dropping down, and there's a bit of a gap here, but what's happening here, this is when the mortgage has been paid off at age 65. There's excess income showing here, and this is going towards savings, and that's what we're seeing here. But let's look at each person individually. Carmen, who has the teacher's pension plan, we can see that this is her income, or savings are increasing. Don, if we look at him, he's actually got no money in retirement. So this may be a concern for them. During their working years, they were both contributing. In retirement, it could be Don or Carmen paying for everything, and Don asking Carmen for some money. And this may be an acceptable situation for them. But I'm going to make a suggestion that they should be doing some savings, and they should change the mortgage payments. Okay, so we're looking here at their mortgage. This is the amount owing. They're paying about $1,300 each month, and it's going to be paid off when they're age 65. I'm going to suggest Carmen is retiring at age 55, or would like to. I'm going to suggest that they shorten up the amortization by 10 years so that it's paid off when Carmen retires. Note the interest rate here. So the total interest that they're going to pay over the life of the mortgage is $112,000. Let's reduce that amortization down so it's now paid off at age 55. And we can see now the total interest payment here is $75,000. So they've saved quite a bit and they've only increased their monthly payment by about $400 a month. Now I'm going to suggest that they do this starting next year when their first child is in school full-time and they've reduced their childhood expenses. Now let's take a look at Don, and I'm going to suggest that he increases his RRSP contributions. So Don was paying $2,000 a year to RRSP. Again, I'm going to suggest he increases that to $12,000 a year. Now let's take a look when we do those things. Now we can see that Don is still going to be short in retirement. However, when we combine the two, we can see that there is enough money in retirement and they have sufficient income. So they will have a successful retirement. Now one of the other questions they had asked, they found cash flow was tight. So let's just take a look at their spending for 1 second. So we can see that they're spending over $10,000 a year on groceries, clothing over almost $4,000 a year, personal grooming about $3,000 a year. They like to go to restaurants. They're spending here about $4,500 on restaurants. Subscription magazines, $1,000. Now, maybe that's being deducted through Don's business, but there's lots of expenses here that, if they want to, they can cut back on those types of things. However, what we're showing is that they don't really need to. As long as they are able to use the savings in the childcare expenses, they'll be fine. So just to summarize again, they should gear the mortgage towards Carmen's retirement date, and Don should contribute more to his RRSPs, increase his payments by $10,000 a year. And if they do that, everything will be fine. If they have surplus money, then that can go towards our RSPs, mortgage, tax-free savings account, whatever. It doesn't matter because we know that things will work.